Today's video, we're going to talk about customer match lists on Google Ads and how they actually make you more money specifically. So this video isn't going to be your typical boring video you're going to find about how to upload a customer list to Google and hypothetically what it may or may not do. This is information I'm giving you because I've done this dozens of times and I can tell you firsthand what exactly it does to your numbers and how it does it to your numbers through 4 primary mechanisms here that you're going to be able to use when you've got a customer list to actually upload to Google. Some of these, by the way, if you're worried right off the bat that you got to have a $50,000 lifetime spend to take advantage of the customer list that you can hypothetically upload to Google, that's not necessarily the case. Some of these things on this list, you absolutely gotta have that $50,000 lifetime spend, but others you don't. So no matter where you're at right now with your account, you opened it up in an account yesterday, you can use a customer list to make more money on Google Ads than you could have otherwise. So you damn well wanna be using it to your advantage. Upload that customer list to Google. That is, if you actually have a decent sized customer list. If you have, 100 people to upload, it's not going to help you out that much. If you have 1,000, it will. If you have 10,000 or more, it's going to help you out a ton, which is what I'm going to explain and talk about in today's video as well. I've also used customer lists before, even though I was not supposed to. And because they're not first party lists, they're somebody else's customer list, I've gotten suspended on accounts before. You can do this and make a good deal of money. You can ultimately get the email addresses of the people that are near a helipad, or should I say could before. Things have changed a little bit recently. As long as you had their mobile IDs, that mobile ID could be turned into an email list, or you could use the mobile IDs to upload specifically directly to Google through Google Analytics and then to Google Ads. You could actually get really good results, but Google is going to catch on to it. I know from firsthand experience, like I said. So if you don't want to jeopardize your account, make sure it is your own customer list. Moving forward, with that said, so the 4 things on the list, that's where a customer list is going to help you make considerably more money on and with your Google Ads over the lifespan of what you're doing on Google Ads. The first reason of which uploading a customer list of at least, you got to have 100 names just to be able to do it anyway. If you have 1,000 or more, that's what you're going to be worried about uploading and getting an actual benefit, tangible benefit. Smart bidding is the very first reason right up the top why you want to upload your customer list to Google, to so-called power your ads. Ultimately, if you've watched my other videos before, you have heard many times that I've said that your results on Google Ads mostly is predicated on how much data you've accumulated in your account with the conversion tracking set up the right way. Even if you're advertising on the keyword red shoes, Google is going to find out which portion of that keyword traffic converts for you and what doesn't convert, and have your ads show up a higher percentage of the time for the people that do convert and less for the people who don't convert. More conversions you get after running your ads, the better the system that Google has gets at running your ads. So when you upload your customer list to Google, you're actually giving them data that you already got on hand, you've already paid for through acquisition of customers in other channels to make the Google Ads more efficient right away. It's not as good, of course, as ultimately acquiring data through the system. You're not going to get amazing results just uploading 10,000 customers to Google as if you got 10,000 conversions through Google actually running your ads, but it does help out considerably, and that's reason alone enough to do it. And Google is going to look at, just like they're going to do with the conversion tracking you have, the customers who buy, they're going to look at the 1,000+ individual traits that person has, and the 1,000+ traits the customer that never became a customer, I should say, has. What are the differences between the two? And then use that to decide who your ad shows up in the future for. So when you give it Google 1,000 customers to look at, they can see what all the things that match up on your customer list. Of all the 40,000 data points that we have on our users, these 3 data points right here are on a match up with 10% or more of your customers. Therefore, we know in the future, if somebody searches for red shoes and they have one of these 3 things, they're 50% or 50 times more likely to convert. Therefore, your ad should show up every single time in those situations. That's specifically what Google's doing with your customer list here, just to put it into perspective, specifically why and how you're going to be able to make more money from your ads than if you didn't have that customer list uploaded. And not only that, you should continue to upload your customer list data to Google on a regular basis. The best would be to use their API or a software like DriftRock, so that any offline customers or customers that you can't necessarily track through your conversion tracking on Google Ads, you constantly are feeding in customer data to your system in real time as well. So any offline customers feeding it and adding to that customer list, so you've got the most data on your customer list at any given time possible. DriftRock being one software that allows you to connect to any other system that you have, and then just as soon as a customer comes through, as long as you got their email address or phone number, it'll automatically add to your customer list on Google Ads, and then use that to steer your ads with moving forward. And then number 2 here, observation. You can bid, or you can set up an audience on Google as an observation. What observation means is you're not using an audience to steer your ads with, you're using it to merely see how well it performs all in itself. So such as, if you're targeting the keyword red shoes again, if you want to see of the people that are on your customer list convert, that come through that keyword red shoes versus somebody who's not on your customer list, you can do that with observation. So what you do is you take that customer list you set up as an observation on your Google Ads campaign, and then you can see, okay, this particular list, customer list, if they're on this customer list or list in general that you're calling a customer list, which you're not supposed to do, but sometimes is helpful, you can see, okay, well, they convert at 2.5 times the normal rate, so potentially I should be able to bid 2.5 times more, so I get more out of them because it's worth it for me to do that, and I'll scale my account more doing that. You can do the observations on display campaigns though as well. You can identify, okay, of the audience that we're targeting here, the people that are customers buy it this much more frequently than non-customers, and you can gain insights to do other things with it. One of which I just explained to you how you can use those insights to make you more money, but it's not limited to that, right? You can do such as retargeting campaigns. You can see how well a retargeting campaign works if a person is a customer versus a non-customer. You can actually upload customer lists where people have bought more than once, and have that be a separate customer list. And then you can set up an observation like we've done before, where you can see how well somebody converts if they're a one-time customer or a multi-buyer. That is, they bought more than once. And then decide with that, do you want your display campaigns to run for somebody who's a customer, multi-buyer customer, or whatever? And if you're running a campaign, you set that observance up, you don't have to spend any more money to be able to identify, would a multi-buyer be worth it going after with this particular offer, or is it just multi-buyer, or is it a single buyer too? And you can figure all this out. I love observances, by the way, because I can go in even on search campaigns and set up 500 different individual observances. There's not a limit on it. And then with that, I can see, okay, people who search for red shoes, here's the people that convert the most, or have these 3 individual traits, these observances that I'm monitoring under the audience menu. Then you can then set up a bid adjustment for each one. Oh, this one should, if they're like fast food, they should get a plus 100% bid adjustment. And therefore, if they come through, we're not going to show up half the time for a person like that. We're going to show up every time for a person like that. Given when you advertise on a keyword, there's no guarantee you show up because there's 4 ads at the top of Google. There's a lot of times 10 people cycling in and out of those spots. And that's what search impression share is about, because you're not always going to show 100% of the time for your keywords. Anyway, you get the general idea of how this is going to make you more money. The third example here of how this is going to make you more money is using bid adjustments. And I touched on this a bit ago. You can create your observances, find out what your bid adjustment should be for your customer list in whatever campaigns you're running, and then do a positive bid adjustment based upon how much better that customer converts if they're coming through your campaigns than a non-customer. Or a multiplier like I was mentioning before, or somebody who's bought from this category of goods versus this category of goods you sell. And the sky's kind of the limit there. For me, by default, I'm going to go ahead and any customer that's bought from us before on our search campaigns, I'm going to right away at least apply a 40% bid adjustment, if not 100%. And I would recommend you do that, by the way, even if you have smart bidding. There's a kind of an argument going on in the ad space right now that audiences don't work if you're using smart bidding, and it's a bunch of bullshit, basically. The algorithm is going to do optimization on its own that it wouldn't do necessarily, including looking at audiences when you use smart bidding. But it doesn't mean if you go ahead and you add a customer list and you apply a 100% bid adjustment, it's not going to push that customer list more than what it would otherwise once you put a 100% bid adjustment on it. So there's no reason not to do what I just told you to do if you're using smart bidding. And then with that, number 4 here, the customer lists are going to make you more money is through customer targeting itself. Now this is specifically where you got to for sure have a $50,000 lifetime spend already in your account. And so you can run display campaigns to your customer list, or people, multi-buyers, like I said before, or people who bought one product that you can sell more to them because the people who buy this normally buy again, or they're profitable prospects to really go after. You can do the same thing on YouTube. Have video ads just show up for customers that you've dealt with in the past. And with that, all that, by the way, it's really mind-bending to me that why businesses try to go after new customers when they haven't extracted all the value from their current customers yet in terms of targeting them with online advertising. And you may say, I don't have anything else to offer them. Well, that's kind of short-sighted, because if you figure out something to do that you can sell them, even if you get somebody else to partner with to offer them something else, if you can double the lifetime value of a customer by having additional offers, you can do at least 2 times more on the front end in terms of advertising to get a customer. And it makes scaling so much easier. And so what you should do, if you take my advice anyway, you should do everything you can to sell as much as you can to your current customers, so that when you go ahead and try to look for new customers, it's way easier. You can pay more for a customer, therefore it's going to be, there's way more stuff available to you. But then extracted all the low-hanging fruit marketing to your current customers, then you do everything you can in terms of remarketing to get the people that are already close to buying to buy, starting with cart abandoners if you are doing e-commerce, and you work your way up the chain. And by the time you get to the top of the funnel, if you will, it's getting damn easy to make that to work. Whereas if you didn't do any of the optimization of the lower funnel, when you start going after people that don't know who you are, who are not ready to buy from your market, it's really hard to get that to work. If you can make enough on the bottom end from a customer and being super efficient, and when you get somebody on the hook, keeping them on the hook, in a lot of cases you can, instead of spending $50 for a customer, you can spend $500 for a customer, and then doing content marketing where you're getting people to download an ebook and then trying to ascend them down the chain to get them to become a customer. That kind of stuff becomes available to you, and you can really scale at that point. So, but with that said, customer marketing, there's so many ways that you can market to customers to make more money before you even have to touch going after anybody new. Do you have accessories that you can sell with the products you're selling? Or if you're offering services, to sell products to the people that are buying the services, or complementary services, or whatever. And with you being able to set up separate customer lists based upon what they buy, create different upsells or cross-sells for every person. You can offer complementary offers. There's machine learning services out there that you can find the correlations between, let's say if you sell 1,000 items, you can find the people who, if they buy this, what they're most likely to buy else from you. Search in the comment section if you're curious about services that do this, you can ask. But there's machine learning services where you upload all your customer data, and they'll say, okay, if somebody buys this, this is the item that you should market to them next, because they're more likely to buy this than any of your other items when they bought this. And then you just set up your banner ads or YouTube ads to market that item to them. And then that obviously gets more lifetime value out of a customer. That opens up automatically more on the front end you can do to get a customer in the first place. So a lot of times what happens is I'll hit a bottleneck with what I can do to get more customers at the cost per conversion that we know we need to be profitable. And then when you do that, guess what you do? You either go to your site and make that more efficient, in terms of higher converting, adding more content, making it look more professional, or you figure out how to sell more shit to the customers you already have. Simple. Once you've done that, you can go back to the front end and whatever wasn't working before, just to get you a cost per conversion at the cost per conversion you need, the stuff that's just over the cost per conversion you need, now that opens up and it's worth it to do now, and now you can scale again. So you can do a customer appreciation offers. I love these. Customer appreciation offer for March only. Customers are offered 25% off on all printing needs. And then you pull forward all the demand. And instead of just waiting for people to come back, you get the orders ahead of time, and that'll cement in your sale, given them many times they'll buy from somebody else, or they won't buy at all if you didn't really constantly market to your customer list. People think, oh, they'll always come back. No, you're just waiting for your customer to get sniped if you don't constantly try to sell to them as much as possible. You got special holiday offers, kind of similar to the customer appreciation offer. Valentine's Day only special. It doesn't say anything about being a customer, but you're getting people that know and like and trust you already to try to buy something from you. You can do gift card offers. I love this one as well. You know, if somebody's already bought from you, it obviously works better in some niches for sure, but Every year we would take the entire customer list and try to sell them a gift card so that they would give it as a gift. And we would sell tens of thousands of dollars of gift cards to their customers on Facebook, but also through Google Display Network, through YouTube, and just hammer it every year. And that's one way to really ratchet up the lifetime value you get from a customer that way. It gets more from a customer, and it builds in more new customers that are going to come in the door that you get ultimately at no acquisition cost. So you got that. Now, going back here to the beginning of what I said here, I mentioned if for no other reason alone, you should be adding your customer list to your Google Ads account if you're going to advertise on Google Ads, because of it'll improve the smart bidding of your campaigns by itself alone, or even manual bidding for that matter, but especially with smart bidding. And so what you can do is you can add that customer list right away if you're running PMAX as an audience signal, so it'll look at the customer list. What are the traits that make your customers unique, and then steer and narrow down your ads to more so what, instead of having to figure it out on their own through their own trial and error, they'll actually be able to figure out sooner because you gave it data to look at in advance. You add it there, and then you can add it to like I mentioned before, the audience menu of your search campaigns, display campaigns, and so forth, and it's going to right away for sure use that in the smart bidding of your campaigns. That said, even if you, by the way, don't add it to the audience menu of your search and display campaigns, the machine learning, if you're using smart bidding, is going to use that customer list to steer your ads with better than it could otherwise already anyway. I just recommend adding it to the campaign because it seems to have a little bit better effect if you add it to the campaign directly, but even if it's not, I can tell you for a fact the system is going to use that customer list to help steer your ads, regardless of it being added to the campaign or not. Therefore, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, add it to the campaigns itself, either in the audience menu or as a signal in the PMAX campaign itself. But what I've going to get down to brass tacks here, as I mentioned, we've done this. We've had it where we've had a clothing brand, we had more than 10,000 customers. I actually had 100,000 customers right around there that we uploaded to the system. Right away, we were able to scale the PMAX campaigns way more than what we were able to scale otherwise. Given clothing's a pretty big market, it really helps Google's system when they can narrow down what part of the market that likes our specific type of clothing that we're selling. You know, when you only have a $20K a month budget and Google is saying you can spend $200K and you give it that customer list, it figures out the exact $20K basically you should be going after. And then when you scale, it knows how to scale it better and easier. Anyway, that was just one occasion where we were able to scale more than double what we had already because we added that massive customer list. We specifically added it, like I mentioned, and what I would recommend to you, where you have customers as a whole added, multi-buyers added, people who requested a discount code also but did not buy. We added that list as well, which gives you even more customers. More data gives a lot of times Google more ammo to work with than less customers. The best way to explain this is if you only have, let's say, 500 customers to upload to Google, it's not a lot, like I mentioned before, in the grand scheme of things here with Google and how it all works. But if you have leads, people have contacted you and you got 5,000, oftentimes you'll get more of a boost to your ads right away adding that 5,000 lead list than you will the customer list itself. So what I recommend you do, not only just add customers and multi-buyer customers as a separate audience, but also the leads as well, and let the system use what it can use basically, because ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to split test, paying attention to this list, and this list, to see which list is the most useful to getting you more customers at the cost per customer that you want from your campaigns and what you've set it up to get with your smart bidding and your target ROAS, your target CPA that you left. And I can tell you for a fact here, if you got over 10,000 names to add, you're at least going to double the performance of your campaigns long term, especially PMAX, but also search campaigns, display campaigns, YouTube campaigns, just simply adding that customer list. Because of the smart bidding improvement that's going to happen, which by the way, you should always be using smart bidding once you got at least 30 conversions in your account, because you're going to get more results long term that way. The only time where you wouldn't be able to make more money with smart bidding is if you're generating leads and you don't track whether the leads are qualified or not, and then getting qualified lead data into your account so that the smart bidding actually knows how to get you a qualified lead, because sometimes it'll just go for crappy leads or bot leads, just to have a general disclaimer there. But you've got a list over 10,000 customer names. There's no way you're not going to at least double the potential of your account We use this all the time, anytime we can on the accounts, just because of how well this works nowadays. Google has really stepped it up, and I was, bitching and complaining for a long time why Google doesn't use the customer list data to give us a jump start so we can have a brand new account, and instead of having to wait 2 years to build up data for the results to really come in and really be good, why can't we upload our customer list and they get to the results quicker? In my mind, it's not going to still be as instantaneous as having 2 years of actual conversion data coming through your campaigns, like I mentioned at the start of this video, but it's a lot faster than it would otherwise. Instead of 2 years, it can take 6 months. And ultimately, they don't want it to happen right away because they like people still spending money a little bit. They have to pay to play, if you will, to get into the market. But it certainly speeds up the process. It's just not going to be like, it's not a switch. Nothing on Google Ads is a switch. You can set up, and to give you a analogy here, we were selling printer toner for one particular client. Client was running campaigns for 10 years already. Took the exact campaigns to run a parallel campaign, brand new account. The results got 5% of the ROI and the profits that the old account had with the exact same setting. The data is everything. And so therefore, if you can get a jump start on things with your customer data that you uploaded to Google and you have that data, it's going to be able to get things going for you quicker and not have to take that 10 years to get where you need to go, if you will, and get it down to 2 years or 3 years. Still going to take a while, but it's saving you a ton of time and therefore a ton of money, ultimately, and wasted spend just to build up data in your account to get decent results with your account. So with that, I just want to say, if you have any questions about this, you can leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel within 24 hours time. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, you should, as the information I'm giving you on this channel is coming from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing and strategy for clients to guarantee their results on Google, on Facebook, and with other online ads, which is unique, as 99% of the information you're going to find online about running ads successfully and profitably online come from people who are talking out their ass, frankly, about what works and what doesn't work, and not actually running ads all day long to know anything about actually running ads. I promise you that. I know, because I'm in the industry. I know what people are doing. The people are selling courses. They're not running ads. It's just how it is. You should, if you are serious about making millions of dollars running ads for your business, you want to subscribe to this channel at least. Furthermore, you can find my blog, actually, that I have even better information on. My blog, you can find that at guaranteedppc.com/blog. My blog has step-by-step instructions to use the strategies we're using to actually guarantee results for our clients' accounts at our firm, so you can copy and paste those into your own ad account and get the same results for yourself without having to necessarily work with us. It's all literally there basically for you to use with screenshots, with the whole shebang. If you want somebody to do all the work for you and get these results going for you, that's what we do here for our clients. And like I said, we guarantee results. That is, we don't charge clients fees up front until we get you a certain minimum lift in your profitability from your ads. The idea is that we lift your profitability in excess of what our fee costs, and then the fee kicks in, but we've already paid our way, if you will. And the catch is, though, we got to know we can get great results with your stuff up front. But if you want to see if we can work together potentially and see what kind of results we would be able to deliver for you using these techniques that we know about that work, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to give you a free assessment, look over what you have, and see what the potential may be. As a final note, if you're running your own ads, you don't want to work with an ad agency. A lot of people don't want to work with an agency. However, we've got ad templates that likely work for you and have already done all where you can bypass all the work that it takes to get really good results in your niche market. We've worked in over 100 niche markets in the last 10 years running this advertising firm, and if we've worked in your niche market, we can not only tell you the results we got in your market after years of running ads in that market, but what the price would be to use the exact ads, landing pages, all of it that we've already figured out works the best. Yes, there's going to be a ramp up time with it, like I talked about in this video earlier, but you're at least now having to figure out, how to run the ad successfully, and you know what the results would be once you get it ramped up. We can give you that, and it's obviously much cheaper than having to figure out all the same stuff for yourself, as well as quicker. You should at the very least reach out to us and see if we worked in your niche market before and what results we got, because you could save yourself tons of time and hassle figuring out what we had to spend years to figure out already and did all the hard work for you. We got people that use these templates, by the way, to start other businesses, whether they be starting lead generation businesses where they're marking up leads. We got several people doing that with our templates now already. It's very popular in terms of a business idea. which is basically a passive income business idea. We got people that wanted to get into e-commerce. They don't know anything about it. I recommended to them just to use our template to sell an item that already sells in one country and sell it in another. And they made that work and made it look easy. If you're interested in any of those other opportunities, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching again, and I'll see you on the next one.